Wednesday morning in Westminster, the countdown to what Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has described as both the back-to-work budget and the budget for growth. The classic photo call with the red box outside 11 Downing Street and then off to Parliament where, unlike his predecessor in the mini-budget last autumn, Mr Hunt was more than happy to open with the independent fiscal watchdog's forecast.
Today, the Office for Budget Responsibility forecasts that because of changing international factors and the measures I take, the UK will not now enter a technical recession this year.
Jeers from the opposition and scant consolation for teachers, junior doctors, transport workers and civil servants taking to the streets today as the union staged a national day of action to coincide with the budget. The Chancellor moved on to two key points in the budget: the energy bill support extension and the expansion of free childcare provision.
I today confirm that the energy price guarantee will remain at £2,500 for the next 3 months. This means the £2,500 cap for the typical household will remain in place when energy prices remain high ahead of an expected fall in prices from July. So we'll increase the funding paid to nurseries providing free childcare under the Hours offer by £204 million from this September, rising to £288 million next year. That's an average of a 30% increase in the 2-year-old rate this year, just as the sector has requested.
He moved on to the back-to-work part of the budget, his phrasing causing much amusement from the SNP.
Independence is always better than dependence, which is why a Conservative government believes with some exceptions, Madam Deputy Speaker, independence is always better than dependence, which is why a Conservative government believes those who can work should. So sanctions will be applied more rigorously to those who fail to meet strict work search requirements or choose not to take up a reasonable job offer.
Other key takeaways from Mr Hunt's statement include a freeze on fuel duty and spending £6 billion to maintain the fuel duty cut. Alcohol duty will rise in line with inflation from August, but draft products in pubs will be up to 11p lower than the duty in supermarkets. And the lifetime allowance limit on pensions will be scrapped. Labour hit back at the lack of plans to address the shortfall in health and social care staffing.
After 13 years of his government, our economy needed major surgery. But like millions across our country, this budget leaves us stuck in the waiting room with only a sticking plaster to hand. A country set on a path of managed decline, falling behind our competitors, the sick man of Europe once again.
And whilst the government is keen to get people back into employment, the SNP questioned just how far those salaries will go.
But year on year, the debt interest payments are 30, 40, 50, £60 billion higher than they were a year ago. And for ordinary people, working people, the OBR confirmed in November, real household disposable income remains below the 2019-20 level and will do for the next 4 or 5 years. And I'm seeing nothing in the Red Book and the OBR forecast in the last few minutes that would change my mind about that assessment in November.
The UK may avoid recession this year, but Britain still face the biggest fall in living standards on record.